Okay, so I've had about a week to spend with this Tokai TST95 that Rose Morris in London, Denmark Street, have sent me to play for a little while. I'm not being paid to demo this, and the only real reason that I would say yes to this sort of thing because it's kind of just cool to play guitars. So, you know, if there's people out there that are thinking, I really want that random guy in Devon with bad hair and who's always out of focus to demo some guitars, that's kind of, you have an opportunity. Anyway, so the Tokai TST95, Japanese made, poly finish, but you know, Sir finish a lot of their guitars in poly. I think for a lot of guitar companies there are health kind of drawbacks to using nitro, I think, in a lot of ways. Can you stop it, Ross? Anyway, so Goto pickups, and I presume then Goto hardware. The pickups are a little bit hotter than something like my Lola Dirty Blondes or the other pickups in my K-lines. The neck feels beautiful, like a full C. The radius is a 7.25, so a very much kind of a vintage feeling Strat. The sort of spec that you would get on a custom shop Fender Strat, really. The frets are really beautifully done. It's got the headstock that you kind of want on a Strat. I think that's kind of, a big part of why this guitar looks how it does. A lot of Strat copies will have a different headstock because, you know, laws and that. But I think Tokai generally don't particularly market in the US, and so I think they've been able to get away with this, and I think also they did used to build some guitars for Fender. In terms of negatives, I couldn't really pick any out. Also, the case is beautiful. The question that I'd have is, what else could you get in this price range? So Rose Morris have kindly offered to give a 10% discount to any people that are using the code John Sold Out. As I say, I'm not actually getting paid for any of this, it's just fun for me to try out different guitars. So it ends up being like £1,100, and I think for that kind of price maybe you could consider something second hand, like maybe a second hand Fender Avery, but even that I think would be closer to £1,400. The Fender American original stuff I think is closer to sort of £1,650, £1,700, and some of that stuff I think looks really nice. I've not played any of it. The Fender Mexican road worn stuff I guess would be the closest I can think of that comes to actual vintage-ish spec guitars. That's got a nitro finish, but also it's got the relic, and it's built in Mexico. I think probably Japan has, perception-wise at least, a higher quality of kind of craftsmanship than Mexico. I don't know whether that's true or not, but I'd say that's a fair assumption. That's the perception of most folks. And I don't know, if you've got other suggestions for sort of things in that price range, sort of 1,000, 1,100, if you can think of Strats in that price range that are impressive for the money, please feel free to let me know in the comments and let other folks know. I can't think of too much really, certainly not Japanese built. Maybe you'd be looking at something by Fujigen, the FGN stuff, but I think they're a little bit more on the modern side rather than actual kind of the Tokai stuff. I think, you know, the phrase oldies but goodies is what they've used since like 1980 something. It's a specific era of the Fender Strat that they're trying to recreate really, I think. Really cool little guitar anyway, and I did have a really cool time playing it, and it's a really enjoyable experience. I think some people commented on the way that it sounded in the videos, thinking it sounds pretty nice. I think I'd agree with that. So all in all, very, very impressed. I was expecting to be honest. It's a Japanese built Tokai. I've had a 1984 Tokai Goldstar in the past, and to me it feels like pretty much a very similar guitar, although now they've got a proper 5-way switch. Anything I'd change about it, there isn't really. I think maybe for some folks they might want a more modern radius board, you know, so the Fender Custom Shop stuff is typically like 9.5. The PRS Silver Sky is an example of a 7.25 radius guitar, so you can still find them if that's what you're looking for, but I think, you know, at this kind of price range I can't really think of anything that really competes. And aside from like the Fender American stuff, the American standard stuff, but that again to me that's 2-point trems, they're slightly different, kind of more overly necks in some cases, so I don't know whether those fit the bill of like the vintage style Fender anymore. But yeah, that's basically what you get with the Tokai. You get a nice case, you get beautiful feeling neck, a beautifully made guitar. This one's strung with 9s. I'd go for 10s normally, but it feels great how it is. Maybe the action you might want to take down a little bit depending on how you play, but a really, really cool guitar. Thank you to Rose Morris for letting me check it out. Go check out their site if you're in the UK, or even if you're not. I do think they are willing to ship internationally if you were interested in one of these things. But yeah, there's going to be a few more Tokais coming to the channel. Again, not paid, but the idea is just to show off some guitars which maybe don't get a whole lot of love anymore. Thank you for stopping by, and that's the Tokai Goldstar TST95. Goldstar sound. Tokai still make great guitars. Cheers.